On the afternoon of September 19th, the tidal bore of the Qiantang River in Hangzhou arrived, driven by Typhoon Pulasan. The waves surged over the riverbank, causing massive walls of water as high as 7 meters. The powerful tide rushed over the embankment and towards the crowds. Some people scrambled to get out of the way, while others moved closer to capture the awe-inspiring waves on camera. Typhoon Pulasan made its second landfall in Fengshan District, Shanghai, around 10 p.m. on September 19th, with maximum winds near its center reaching level 9. This was the second storm to hit Zhejiang and Shanghai in just 1 week, following the devastating Typhoon Babinka, which was the strongest to hit Shanghai directly since 1949. Although Pulasan wasn't as intense as Babinka, it moved quickly, making it very dangerous. A yellow thunderstorm warning was issued by the Shanghai Meteorological Center on the night of the 19th. Earlier, Typhoon Babinka had caused severe damage in Shanghai. Flights were canceled, highways were closed, and the streets were in chaos. Videos online showed the terrifying aftermath, with people being blown over while riding bikes, and one delivery worker losing his balance while trying to pick up his bike, only to be blown away by the wind. In another video, a courier's goods were scattered all over the ground. Babinka wreaked havoc across Shanghai, making it extremely difficult for delivery drivers to do their jobs. In some videos, delivery workers are seen struggling through the fierce wind and rain, trying to keep their electric bikes upright. One worker's delivery cart was knocked over by the floodwaters, and he struggled in the water to retrieve it. The typhoons have made life harder for many cities, and especially for delivery workers. They must wear raincoats, rubber boots, and cover their bikes and food boxes with waterproof cloth, but still they get drenched. Delivering food during a typhoon is dangerous, with slippery roads, risk of injury, and the possibility of being hit by flying debris. Some residents took to social media to encourage others not to order food deliveries during the storm, saying, "Let's all take responsibility for the safety of delivery workers in typhoon weather." Many people agreed, posting comments like, "Delivery workers are human too. Their safety is more important than one meal," and "Stay home unless absolutely necessary," and "Have enough food on hand to avoid ordering out." The impact of Babinka wasn't just a threat to the safety of Shanghai citizens, it also caused significant economic damage. The storm's force was so intense that even high-rise buildings and skyscrapers faced major challenges. On September 16th, a large section of exterior wall from a high-rise building was torn off and crashed to the ground with a loud bang, shocking nearby residents. In the video, 2 men narrowly avoided the falling debris, which landed less than 5 meters in front of them, scattering stones and dust into the air. This incident happened in the Songwenyuan residential community in the Shaoxing area of Qingpu District, Shanghai. Songwenyuan, built in 2014 as a relocation settlement, consists of 20 buildings and is considered a high-quality residential area. According to real estate records, the average price in this community exceeded 140,000 RMB per square meter in June this year. In addition to high-rise residential buildings, some of Shanghai's upscale hotels also suffered damage, including glass curtain walls. A video circulating on social media shows a large floor-to-ceiling glass panel in a hotel lobby blown away by the typhoon, just as a woman hurriedly carried her child away from the scene. Strong winds rushed into the hotel, scattering papers off the tables. According to reports, this incident occurred at the Langham Hotel at Xintiandi, Huangpu District. The hotel rooms range from 1,200 to 1,700 RMB per night, with the most expensive executive suites priced at 6,510 RMB per night, making it one of the more well-known luxury hotels in the city. A staff member at the hotel mentioned that the glass wall was damaged in the first-floor buffet restaurant, which has since been closed for urgent repairs. On September 16th, the coastal area of Lingang New City in Pudong, Shanghai, faced an unprecedented storm attack. The typhoon's landfall brought not only destructive winds and heavy rain, but also severe economic impacts on Shanghai and its surrounding areas. Building and infrastructure damage caused rising economic losses, and markets from finance to real estate to retail have been affected. This has shaken investor confidence, which will have a lasting effect on Shanghai's economic growth. The transportation sector is also facing significant challenges. During the typhoon, flights, railways, and highways face shutdowns or delays, disrupting cargo transport and increasing logistics costs for businesses. The storm caused some factories to halt production, and parts of the production lines were damaged. At the same time, Typhoon Babinka struck during the Mid-Autumn Festival holiday, which delivered a heavy blow to the tourism industry in Shanghai and nearby areas. Tourist attractions were temporarily closed, and travel plans were disrupted. Furthermore, the costs associated with post-disaster reconstruction, insurance claims, and the repair of public infrastructure will test the resilience of Shanghai's economy. The effects of Typhoon Babinka will impact the coastal region's economy in many ways, and recovery will not be quick. To put things into perspective, Typhoon Lakima in 2019 caused direct economic losses of 5.1 billion RMB, and the impact of Babinka is expected to surpass that. Typhoon Babinka has gradually weakened, but the rainfall it caused is not over yet. From September 17th to 18th, heavy rain continued to affect many areas of Henan, with the city of Xiangqiu experiencing torrential downpours, including isolated extreme rainfall. The highest recorded rainfall was 625.9 millimeters. Xiangqiu's urban drainage system is well developed, and various departments are actively seeking solutions. Yet flooding was still severe. One can only imagine how much worse the situation is in rural areas.
The riverbank in Yongchang, Henan, has broken. Look at this. People can't even cross. The rain is just too heavy.
On September 18th, in rural Xiangqiu, Henan, a woman knelt on the ground, praying to the heavens, begging for the rain to stop. "Dear heavens, please stop the rain. The people are terrified. The rain has flooded my crops, and we've had to move our cars to higher ground. Dear heavens, help us, please." This woman from Henan was praying to Typhoon Babinka. These are China's most humble farmers, the ones protecting the nation's food supply. If your feet aren't rooted in the land, you won't understand how hard life is for China's farmers. Faced with natural disasters and hardship, with no compensation from the government, they rely on the weather for their survival. Farmers only hope for favorable weather because the land is their only lifeline.
Why is this happening to us? We just found a new place, and now such heavy rain is falling again. Why are things so hard for us? We were just halfway through building, and now the rain is pouring down. The water is so deep now. What should we do? What should we do? Heavens, can you please stop the rain? We just found a new place, and now it's pouring. How are we supposed to live? How are we supposed to live? Please stop the rain.
The heavy rain in Henan flooded a chicken farm in Xiangqiu, killing nearly 3,000 chickens and causing a direct loss of 100,000 RMB. Mr. Wang, the farm owner, said,
"The rain lasted 2 days, and the water in the farm reached 50 centimeters deep."
Only farmers can truly understand how difficult it's been to grow crops this year. First, there was the drought, and the irrigation was incredibly challenging. After finally getting through the drought and seeing the hope of a good harvest, this heavy rain washed everything away. After a whole year of hard work, it all ended up in vain. From videos shared online, you can clearly see the village almost completely submerged in water. The villagers are anxiously watching as the water level keeps rising. In some areas, the water reaches up to the waist, and people stay inside unless they absolutely must go out. When they do, they carefully feel their way with sticks, as the roads have become waterways, and the land ahead looks like an ocean. One particularly heart-wrenching scene was captured by a viewer. Corn that was just about to be harvested was scattered by the floodwaters. A man bent over in the water was picking up the corn one by one. People online couldn't help but feel heartbroken for the farmers. One person commented, "For over 40 years, the rivers and reservoirs haven't been properly maintained. There's no unified planning. Individual fields have blocked many ditches, and it's hard enough to build a drainage system in the village. Once it rains heavily, the plains turn into a flood zone." Another person criticized, "The ditches we used to have all been removed by the relevant authorities. How can it not flood when it rains? Those ditches, seemingly useless, were for flood control and drought prevention. Now, with all this high-efficiency farming, they've been destroyed. but there's no point in talking about it because nothing will change. Typhoon Babinka's reckless destruction has cruelly exposed the shortcomings of China's flood control and drainage systems, especially in rural areas. It also highlights the severity of infrastructure issues. Due to the impact of Typhoon Babinka, many areas of Anhui have been hit hard by heavy rains. Houses, vehicles, and crops are submerged in water. In the middle of the night, sudden floods struck Xiao County and Dongshan County in Anhui, causing severe losses. On September 18th, after Typhoon Babinka passed, Dongshan County in Anhui recorded over 330 millimeters of rain. Floodwaters submerged many areas, disrupting roads, electricity, and communication, and soaking countless shops and vehicles.
There's water everywhere, over a meter deep in some places, and 2 meters deep in others. This is the shallowest area. This is our hometown. What's happened to it?
Recently, due to the heavy rain brought by Typhoon Babinka in Dongshan County, Anhui was severely flooded. Rubber boats were used at the hospital entrance to transport patients. A hospital staff member said, "Yes, we're open and there are rubber boats at the entrance." In the video, you can see water covering the hospital lobby up to people's ankles. A few people walked around the first floor, and there were flood bags at the door. The water below the steps reached waist level, and patients had to use ropes to pull themselves into the hospital. Oh my gosh, it's turned into a swimming pool.
How are you getting home? Your dad must have come out by now. The water's too fast.
Look at my nephew. He's 1.8 meters tall, and the water's up to his waist. Look, the government hasn't sent anyone to rescue us, and no one's come to check up on us or offer any support. Yesterday, when the garage flooded, I didn't cry. When the water got into the house, I still didn't cry. When my son cried, I comforted him. But when my husband sent me a video, I couldn't hold it back anymore. Our house isn't big, but at least it gives you warmth. Then, watching the home you put so much heart into get destroyed overnight, there are no words to describe how that feels. On September 18th, Dongshan was hit by the most damaging rainstorm in recent years. Overnight, Dongshan turned into a water city, and all the hard work of the fruit farmers for the entire year went to waste. Official data shows that in towns like Lizhuang in Dongshan County, the rainfall over 6 hours exceeded 100 millimeters, with some areas seeing more than 150 millimeters. Parts of the roads were deeply flooded, causing public buses to stop operating. On the morning of September 19th, some areas were still underwater. This is happening during the famous Dongshan pear harvest season, and large areas of pear trees, along with harvested pears, are submerged. A shop owner in Dongshan said, "It's been pouring non-stop. Dongshan is almost entirely flooded, and the roads are full of water, with cars submerged. The underpass is 4.5 meters deep in water. In my area, most of the houses have water inside, and we're using buckets to scoop it out." A villager in Xiao County said, "It's been pouring rain. Everything's flooded. The entire county is submerged, and work and school have been suspended. In my village, the water reaches my knees, and some houses have been flooded. The corn we planted, it's all drowned. The river rose too much, and the reservoirs are full and need to release water. The damage downstream will be even greater." Another resident from Xiao County said, "The rainfall has been too heavy. After 1 day and 1 night, we have this massive flood. In some places, the water is more than a meter deep. Cars are flooded, and the water inside the houses is really deep. Most of the crops are flooded and ruined. There will definitely be losses. Just look at the factories here. All the machines and materials are soaked." From an agricultural perspective, crops and fisheries in coastal areas will be severely affected. The heavy rain and floods brought by Typhoon Babinka have caused farmlands to be flooded and fisheries to be damaged, further driving up the price of agricultural products. According to meteorological predictions, the areas impacted by Babinka include major grain and fishery production bases in China, which will negatively impact the food supply chain.